Hello everyone, my name is Mahdi and I am here with Quranic Truth number 23, part 3 of our Salat series. The Quran makes it very clear that Salah is always two standings, or as we call it, two rak'ahs, and that it can be shortened to one standing or one rak'ah while traveling and in danger. Let's look at verse 101 of chapter 4. This verse actually details the process of shortening of Salah for us. And when you travel throughout the land, there is no blame upon you if you shorten the Salah, if you fear that those who disbelieve may harm you. Indeed, the disbelievers are ever to you a clear enemy. فَلَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ أَن تَقْصُرُوا مِنَ الصَّلَاةِ إِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَن يَفْتِنَكُمُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. In normal situation, Salat is always two standings or two rak'ahs. Please watch Quranic Truth number 22, Salat part 2. Salat can be shortened only and only while traveling and if in danger. Salat with two standings, or rak'ahs as we call it, can easily be shortened to one standing, whereas Salat with three standings cannot be easily shortened. You have to shorten it or divide it by 2 into 1.5, which will never work. Quran gives us an example to confirm and clarify the situation so that the associators or mushrikun won't have any excuse that the Quran was not clear or detailed or didn't have the information they were looking for. Now let's look at verse number 102 from chapter 4, which actually gives us an example detailing for us how to shorten Salat. This example is from Army of the Lord, standing for Salat while traveling and mobilizing on earth. It says, and when you are among them and stand the Salat for them, a group of them, i.e. the first group, must stand in Salat with you, and they must carry their arms. And when they, i.e. the first group, prostrated, they, i.e. the second group, must stay around you guarding. And the other group, i.e. the second group, must come forward, which has not yet performed Salat. And they, i.e. the second group, must perform Salat with you, taking precaution and carrying their arms while the first group is on their guard. So this example beautifully details the process of shortening Salah for us. Now let's delve into verse 102 of chapter 4 a little bit deeper. So in this example, the army of Allah was mobilized and in battle formation. Allah's army was divided into two groups. Allah's messenger led the one standing or one rak'ah shortened Salat with the first group. The first group's shortened Salat finished after the prostration or sujdah of the first rak'ah or first standing. The second group was standing guard while the first group completed their shortened Salat. Now the second group, who were previously guarding the first group, would stand Salat with the messenger of Allah. So the first group, who have already completed their shortened Salat, would be guarding the second group while they stand their shortened first rak'ah Salah. And thus the army of the Lord established Salah while mobilized in the way of Allah in battle formation. And thus Allah makes his verses clear for us, lest we go astray. I know I have mentioned this verse several times. I'm going to mention that again, and that is verse 46 of chapter 34. Say, I only advise you of one, that you stand before Allah a doubly or a two-standing prayer and a singly or a one-standing prayer. So mathna or doubly refers to a two-standing prayer that we discussed. All salat is two standings. Furada or singly refers to one standing prayer or salah, and that is only when the salah is shortened due to being traveling while in danger. As I mentioned before as well, there is no standing between bowing and prostration. This is bowing and prostration. An introduction of standing or qiyam will increase the number of standings in each part to 2 for a total of 4 standings in a 2 rak'ah or 2 standing prayers, and that corrupts the flow of prayer or salah. This is why the word rak'ah was adopted to keep track of each part. It's because the number of standings or qiyam in each rak'ah had increased to 2 from the initial 1, making it impossible to be used to keep track of each part. So that's why this verse is important, and that's why I keep repeating it. So as I demonstrated to you from Quranic verses, the Quran makes it very clear that Salat is always 2 standings or 2 rak'ahs, and that it can be shortened to 1 standing or 1 rak'ah while traveling and in danger. And Quran, for an example, gives us the army of the Lord while it was mobilizing and marching on earth in the cause of Allah. I hope you learned something from this Quranic truth, and I hope and pray that Allah will open our eyes so we can see the truth of His word. Please do not forget to do Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar by sharing the truth of the Quran and by sharing this video. And please subscribe for more Quranic truths. Peace and blessings from Allah to all of you. And until our next Quranic truth, ma'as salam.